3rd September 2019 was the day when I first stepped into this campus. AIIMS Nagpur then was a name hardly heard of by many. I and 98 other individuals were about to begin the biggest, the greatest, most thrilling and in some ways most cruel adventure of their life. This is a story of how I spent more than half a decade in this college, building friendships and breaking some of them, learning medicine as well as going through a roller coaster of emotions. This is not only my story, this is story of 99 strangers who came together and became a family. This is my MBBS journey. As per I remember, the moment I stepped into this campus, I started regretting my decision to take AIIMS Nagpur. Consider taking an admission into a college which was just in its foundational year. The year the construction of the college had just began. Although my rank allowed me to take much better AIIMS, much established one, I only chose AIIMS Nagpur because it was less than an hour away from my hometown. Was this decision correct? At that time I didn't think so, because just think of it, taking admission into a medical college with just one OPD building which was only 20% functional, with no roads, no proper hostel and other recreational facilities, no dissection hall and no sports facilities. Only a fool would take admission into such college. And I was one of them along with 98 others. But this was the start of a very, very long journey, starting with the beginning of first year. On the very first day, we were given the tour of our college building, which was just a temporary setup and in no way it could be called a college building of a medical college. We were also shown our physiology lab and our biochemistry lab. Some of us wondered where was the dissection hall, because we had heard that it was the best place to learn anatomy in the first year, and to our surprise, it wasn't constructed yet. Along with this, we were also allotted our hostel rooms. Although the college had just started construction, it had done a pretty decent job on their hostels. Initially, we boys lived in the girls' hostel. Means not in that way. But girls were allotted a 3 BHK flat for 3 people, and all the boys were allotted the girls' hostel, which was the only hostel that was constructed at that time. Within a couple of months, all the necessary facilities in the hostels like cupboard, washing machine, fire extinguishers and water coolers were made available. I don't know why they gave fire extinguishers. They somehow thought that this bunch of idiots would burn the college building down, and in some way they were not wrong. But jokes apart, before the beginning of first academic year, we had our orientation program for almost a week. And on the very first day, we had our white coat ceremonies, in which we were given a white coat like this. Although the original one is very different, and I will show you later in this video. The first few months in this campus were absolutely brutal. We were first introduced to anatomy, physiology and biochemistry, and the huge syllabus was extremely difficult to cope up with. I don't know what it was, whether it was me being homesick or an uneasiness of a new place, or it was pressure to compete with such esteemed minds in my class, or whether it was just the regret of not taking engineering although I got it. I lost my sleep over these issues and I started hating my college. The first 3 or 4 months were the worst days of mine in this college. But as it is said that every time good or bad shall pass, and this too passed, and something happened that changed my perspective towards this college completely. After first 4 or 5 months, the college construction took a boost. And one of the most notable things that was constructed, and the most important thing for me actually, was the badminton court. Although I played badminton earlier, I left it for my class 11th and 12th studies, and it was the perfect time to start it again. We also had our annual sports meet, in which I won these 2 trophies in badminton singles and men's doubles. College life now felt like a college life, but to be honest, this was more of a school life, because we were traveling by bus from our hostels to the Dharmashala and back to our hostels, because there were no roads that we could walk on, and the Dharmashala is more than 800 meters apart from our hostel. And also we were given a complete white dress, and in the rainy season it didn't remain white. Our hostel timings were also limited to 10 PM in the night, and we were not allowed vehicles, so we couldn't go to city, which was very far away from our hostels. I started making friends in this college and also started going on outings. Our college also organized several events and functions like the Foundation Day, annual sports meet, annual fest, and much more needed academic quizzes. This college now felt as our second home. Little did I knew that we were going to be forced to go back to our homes. With the onset of 2019 pandemic, all of us had to leave our college and go back to our respective homes. At that point, I think all of us realized how much fun and freedom we had in this college. All of us wished to come back to the college, which we did, only to go back again with the onset of second wave of pandemic. And in this second wave, I realized that my decision to become a doctor was actually a great one. At that point, every person in this country, in the whole world, started appreciating the efforts of doctors. On one fine day, even all countrymen in my country came out of their homes and banged utensils to show their support to doctors and healthcare workers as a part of a program of appreciation by Prime Minister. I found it quite funny. But now the decision to become a doctor seemed priceless. As it is said, every good and bad time shall pass. And this too passed very quickly, and all of us returned to our campus after the end of the pandemic. And to our utter shock, this campus was a completely renewed and a new place. We couldn't believe that this was the same campus which didn't have any roads. Now it had a fully functional OPD and major chunk of the inpatient department completed in construction. Our hostel construction also picked up pace, cricket and tennis ground started construction, basketball court was opened and a new college gym was constructed. We were all so happy, and now the college actually felt like a great campus. To add glory to this, we also had a fully functional brand new 750 seated auditorium and a 2-floor library with all kind of books available in it. These facilities were available in a handful of colleges all across Maharashtra, and ours was the best one of all of them. Within a couple of months of coming back to the college, we had our first professional examinations. The first year final examination took a toll on us. It drained us of all the fun that we had in the first year. It drained us of our sleep completely for the next 2 whole months. It took everything in our power to pass this examination. But as every hard time shall pass, this too passed, and all of us managed to pass with good marks. And we entered our next chapter, that is the second year. I thought the first year syllabus consisting of anatomy, physiology and biochemistry was hard, but pharmacology, pathology and microbiology were waiting for me to be astonished. And then there was FMT, which was a light one. The syllabus was almost double the syllabus in the first year, and now we had a lot more stress for studying. I started making new friends, new groups this time, and the groups that were already formed in the first year started getting smaller and smaller. We were also shifted in the actual boys hostel this time, with a brand new double-seater room and with a new roommate. This was the year when we were first exposed to the idea of clinics. With AIIMS Nagpur getting renowned as a good medical college and hospital, the patient flow started increasing, and we were posted in different departments like surgery, medicine, pediatrics and my favorite, obs-gynae. Furthermore, our college then started construction at a much higher pace. The IPT building was almost complete. The emergency and trauma building started construction. A brand new gym, other than the old one, was constructed and opened for all the students, and we were also introduced to 125 brand new juniors of 2020 batch. It was the first year when we had our annual fest called as Hallucia, and in that fest I won a couple of medals in badminton. Just look at those, how good they look. This fest was followed by our second year final exams, which were more brutal than the first year ones. This time many of us were not able to pass. Although I passed, I now entered the hardest and the most gruesome year of MBBS. That is the final year part 1 and part 2.